walk us through the behind the scenes, Matt. That'll be fun. That'll be great to hear as to how the creation happens. Like let's say a start of a new series. What is the ideation process? How do you go about it?
Well, The Simpsons is a TV series that we have been now doing for going into our 23rd season, and we're almost up to 500 episodes. So it's a smooth, well-oiled machine. We have about 20 writers, maybe a little more, and the writers all get together and come up with ideas. One writer takes off and writes a script, then everybody takes it apart, like taking apart a motor and adding jokes and changing things around, and that takes a couple months. And then we have the actors read the script out loud with a small audience sitting around a big table on the 20th Century Fox lot in Los Angeles. And it's a really fun show. If you get a chance to come to a table read for The Simpsons, do it. It's really good. Because the actors are so funny. They're really fantastic. So we try to make the scripts as good as possible. The writers add their own personal stories, their own references, and topical humor, and then the actors take it up to another level. And because they're actors and they're really good, and they improvise and ad lib, and then we all write down, take notes, add that to it. Then we go back, we rewrite the script based on that performance, and turn over the script to the animators. The animators storyboard the script and create, we always have new characters. We have about 50 speaking parts per episode. That's an average, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. And we have a cast of probably about 500 characters in the fictional world of Springfield.
Wow.
So we have a lot to draw on. The animators design props and new characters and background characters and background designs, and it all comes together, and we have what's called an animatic. An animatic is basically a filmed storyboard with a minimal animation, just to sort of see kind of what we've got, and we change that. And then, in fact, I would say, in describing this very tedious process, tedious to experience and tedious to listen to, I'm sure.
But it's
it's always the secret of The Simpsons, and the secret, I think, and many shows have caught on to this now, is that traditionally animation has been, writing has not been emphasized, and on The Simpsons writing is emphasized, and there's a huge amount of rewriting, and there are rules that you're supposed to obey in animation just to make the animators not want to kill you, which is you don't change things after a certain point because the animators need to get the job done. But we ignore those rules, and we change things and drive the animators crazy. We actually have them animate. They do brilliant jobs, but sometimes we don't like our jokes, and we change things, and it's all for the greater good of making a good show.
How long does, let's say, one episode? It's one episode. How long does it run?
A single episode takes between 6 and 8 months to finish.
8 months.
So we obviously work on many episodes at the same time.
Right. So. And typically one episode will run for what, like about 20 minutes, 25?
The actual show is around 22 minutes. Yeah,
So 22 minutes.
22
takes
minutes.
about 8
We call
months.
it a half hour with the commercials, and and we do about 22 to 26 episodes a year, and so we're working all year round. It's
and that's what
when I say we, come on, I'm sitting here in India talking to you while they're back there in Los Angeles writing.
Sure.
So and animating, and acting.
Yeah. So
and rewriting.
Overall, what's the size of the team? Just put a number.
Oh, hundreds of people. I mean, there's probably 300 animators. And that's in Los Angeles. Then there are the creative decisions are made in Los Angeles, and then the show is actually animated in South Korea. It used to be it was one of the last shows, if not the last show, to be animated in the conventional style, cell animation, where hand painted, and for a number of reasons, we resisted changing over to digital animation because we just like the dirty look of hand-drawn animation.
So everything is hand-drawn?
No, it's all hand-drawn to begin with,
okay,
and then scanned in the computer and digitally inked and painted. But it took us a long time to figure out how to make the painting look imperfect enough, because the problem with computers is you can get perfection,
Right.
and perfection sort of robs it of life.
Right.
But we finally figured out how to dirty it up, and now we just add detail to it. So we're happy.
So, Simpsons is what you do full time right now, or is there anything else that takes your time?
In addition to The Simpsons, I walk across the street to another TV show called Futurama, which I work on with David X. Cohen, co-created it with me. We've been going for 10 years on that, and it's a science fiction satire. Takes place 1,000 years in the future, and I'm very happy with that. Very proud of it. That's done by a much smaller group of people than the Simpsons, and but the animation quality, I think, is can't be beaten for TV.
Sure.
For TV, pretty good.
So, in your life, tell us one or two of most challenging moments you faced through, or if I were to put it more bluntly, your biggest failures. How did you come out of it, and what lessons did you learn?
Failures. Well, I guess back in college, when I was editing the school newspaper, we decided we wanted to really be muckraking, and there was a brand new governor of the state who was very anti-environmental, and we did some muckraking journalism, and the school was a public university, or public college, so it was vulnerable to the legislature wanting to shut it down. And since they thought hippies, poets, and revolutionaries went there, they were suspicious to begin with. And then my buddies and I didn't help things by doing this newspaper, which enraged a certain portion of the legislature, and then some real journalists hated it. They told my parents that I would never get a job in journalism based on this horrible newspaper that I was putting out with my friends, and that was actually a good thing, right? Because I went, okay, can't be a journalist, be a cartoonist.
Yeah, that changed everything.
Yeah.
That's just history. So, your biggest achievement, what are you so proud of when you look back in life?
I'm proud of it. You know what I like? I like the fact that television, which is it's about storytelling, and The Simpsons. I love the idea that we're reaching children, little kids who don't read yet, or don't read, and are able to tell them stories. So I guess people have sort of given up on being outraged by the show these days. But back when we first began, the show was considered very controversial because it was teaching kids to be disrespectful to their parents and be suspicious of authority, and so it was fun to basically stick up for our beliefs and say, no, what's good for kids is good storytelling.
Yeah.
And we think that Simpsons is good storytelling.
Awesome. Matt, you're wonderful.
Thank you.
Right, you're an icon. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, it's not just me. I have to say this every time. Animation is a collaborative effort. A huge number of people work on this show. Writers, actors, animators, musicians, and it's really fun. So my dad was wrong. He said, "Don't animation's too hard." It's not too hard. You get other people to do the hard work, and that's my secret. I got other people to do the hard work.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.